Welcome to the Goodyear City Council meeting. We're excited to have you be a part of this important public process. Tonight, you will have the opportunity to address City Council on both non-agenda and agenda items. You must fill out a speaker request card in order to address the City Council. The agendas and speaker request cards are located in the back of the council chambers. Please drop your completed card in the tray next to the blank speaker cards. If the meeting has already begun, please hand it to the city employee at the back of the room. You may check the "I do not wish to speak" option on the card. This allows you to let council know your opinion without having to speak. In accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, please contact a staff member if you need any assistance. Public comment on a non-agenda item will take place during the citizen comment portion of the evening. These are items that don't appear on tonight's formal agenda. The city clerk will call your name when it's time for you to speak. At that time, please approach the podium and tell us your name for the record. You'll have a maximum of 3 minutes. The timer is on the screens visible from the podium. Note that you may also choose not to speak if other speakers before you have said what you wanted to say. Shouting, cheering, and loud noises will not be tolerated, and violators may be removed for disrupting the meeting. Goodyear City Council meetings stream live on Facebook, YouTube, X, and online at goodyearaz.gov. Follow the city's social media pages so you don't miss out on all that's happening in Goodyear. Thank you for coming to this meeting and being an active part of your city. And remember, it's a great time to be in Goodyear.
I'd like to call a regular meeting to order for February 26, 2024. Please mark your calendar. Present. City Clerk, we're all here, except for one, right?
Correct.
So I've got council. Can I get a motion and a second to excuse Councilmember Stipp?
You have it.
I have it. Motion and a second. Thank you. Let's get a vote. All in favor? Six, zero. Thank you. Please join Councilmember Campbell in the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow with me as we pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many blessings that our city has received, and we're very mindful that we are the stewards of this great city. We thank you for the opportunity to serve the people and help us to act with sincerity, character, and conviction. Help us to listen with understanding, compassion, and goodwill. Help us to speak with charity and restraint, and give us a spirit of service to our residents and to our fellow man. We ask that you place a hedge of protection for our police, our fire, all our first responders, and our military as they serve our community every single day. May we be ever mindful and thankful of their sacrifices on our behalf. In your most holy name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Councilmember Campbell. Now is the time for citizens who would like to address the City Council on any non-agenda items within the jurisdiction of Goodyear. Any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
City Clerk, please read the consent agenda items 1 through 6.
Number 1, approval of minutes. Number 2, adopt resolution number 2024-2390, providing notice of a primary election on July 30th, 2024, and a general election November 5th, 2024, if necessary. Designating the place to obtain candidate packets, designating the dates for candidates to file nomination papers, designating the dates that voter registration closes, authorizing the city manager or her designee to enter into all agreements to effectuate election services, ordering the city clerk to publish this call of election, and repealing resolution number 2024-2385. Number 3, approval of new Series 7 beer and wine bar liquor license for Sip at the Ranch, located at 17650 West Elliott, suite number A105. Number 4, approval of new Series 10 beer and wine store liquor license for Valley Craft located at 15671 West Roosevelt Street, Suite 102. Number 5, approval of new Series 12 restaurant liquor license for West Valley Social Club located at 633 South Estrella Parkway, number 105. And number 6, approve the final plat for Goodyear Civic Square, Lot 1 and 2, subject to stipulations.
Thank you. Does anybody on the council wish to remove an item from the agenda? Seeing none, can I get a motion and a second? Which I see a motion and a second. Go ahead and open up for vote. Passes 6-0. Thank you. There are 2 public hearings on the agenda tonight. First hearing is to consider a rezoning on approximately 138 acres located at the northeast corner of Van Buren Street in Litchfield. Go ahead and open the public hearing. And please introduce yourself for the public.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. For the record, I'm Dave Williams, contract planner here for the city of Goodyear. The project request before you this evening is the 5th amendment for Palm Valley Crossings, and it's a rezone modification to the PAD. Palm Valley Crossings, as you'll recall, is located south of I-10, east of Litchfield, north of Van Buren, is outlined in the red here on my map. Excuse me. The amendment that we're making the change to is for lot number 3, which is indicated by the yellow star on the north center portion of the property. The current zoning has multiple mixed uses. So we went through and created a map just to help kind of clarify what uses are what in the mixtures and everything. But we have basically automotive, we have C2 modified commercial uses, and then service, commercial, and commerce uses, all identified as part of the planned area development. The request is for lot number 3, and this already has automotive-related commerce and modified C2 general commercial. They wish to add service, commercial, and commerce to this. So in the end, if you approve it this evening, it will have 3 separate land use designations. And that would actually put it in line with the 2 lots that we have here in purple already over in the northeast corner. So this is in keeping with the uses that are already allowed in here. I do want to clarify, just so that we have it out there, part of this request is to amend the PAD, but also to restate the PAD. This has been subject of multiple other changes in the past. Staff has put in a tremendous amount of time researching each of these lots. So this kind of helps us create a new baseline moving forward so that it's easier for future planning cases and future planners to understand what we did today and what each lot is allowed to do. The site, they're proposing a 59,000 square foot building. This is a mixed office warehouse use. We do have stipulations for additional landscaping to be included in here. Our previous case that I brought before you just before Christmas, we had discussions about the landscaping being deleted. The landscaping here on the north side was previously deleted by one of the previous PADs, but we wanted to ensure that we had the 10-foot landscape strips on the east and west side as referenced here. The site will have 2 access points, both of which will be full access onto West Test Drive. The Planning Commission did hear this on February 14th. We went through the standard public notification process, and through that process, through all of our notifications, we have not received any public comments related to this particular case. The Commission did vote 7-0 unanimously to send this to you with a recommendation of approval. And as indicated, it does comply with all city regulations. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, and the applicant is also here to answer any questions that you may have.
The applicant like to say anything at this time?
I'm here for questions if you need.
Okay, that's fine. Any in the audience like to speak?
No speaking.
Good. Going to go ahead and close the public hearing then. City Clerk, please read the ordinance number 2024-1599 by title only.
Adopt ordinance number 2024-1599, conditionally rezoning approximately 137.77 gross acres located at the northeast corner of Van Buren Street and Litchfield Road to Palm Valley Crossing, Fifth Amended and Restated Planned Area Development, amending the zoning map of the City of Goodyear, providing for non-abridgment, providing for corrections, providing for severability, providing for an effective date, providing for penalties, and directing the city clerk to record a copy of this ordinance.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2024-1599? I see a motion and a second up on the board. Go ahead and open, and I have Councilmember Gillis first up.
What all is located in that area?
So this particular area right now is already multiple, best way I can describe it is more industrial uses.
Industrial.
We have the Ride Now Power Sports immediately to the east, so automotive dealership essentially, selling motorcycles, side-by-sides. Across the street, we also have another car dealership. We have an oil change, another service center to the west. So the area itself really is enjoying the automotive uses. There's other commercial and other warehouse uses also included in this particular area. So it's
So
a
this
wide
isn't the
variety.
only one? This
No,
would
this
not be
is
the
not
only
the
one.
only one. This will be a very good fit
For that area.
for the community.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Campbell?
I just have a couple of quick questions. So is this lot I drove over, is it behind the, is it to the right of Starbucks?
Yes.
It's
It-
on
it-
down, Rudy's is on the corner.
Yes.
In the driveway, and then there's the Trek thing, and then are they the next one?
They are the next lot over, correct.
That's what I
Vacant
thought.
lot.
Do we know what's gonna go in there?
Yes, we do. It is, the request is specific to JFN Mechanical. They're here this evening, and they do heating and cooling.
Wonderful, we need those.
Yes, we do.
Great. Okay, thank you, that's all.
Councilmember Loretano?
I think it covered my questions. It looks like it's by the ride-on next to the two over from what the Rodeo Ford, so it's over in that area. I just want to make sure I had the right area, so.
Yes.
I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
Will you bring up the slide that shows the rear elevation?
Yes.
So there's no landscaping requirement in the back, and I presume there's dock doors in the back?
Yes, unfortunately, there is no landscaping requirement in the back. That had already
Okay.
been deleted.
All
It was
right.
something that we did look at. Now, along I-10 in this particular section, if we go east or west of this lot, there actually is view fencing right onto I-10. So what we have here is the I-10 landscape buffer. The very large freeway monument sign that's out there for the center is just off this particular property, so kind of sits in that highway easement, so to speak, in that area.
Okay.
But yes, it'll likely be view fencing across that back, similar to what the other uses already have.
Okay, but there will be no screening then for the trucks? And for, was that a consideration at all?
It was a consideration. The other businesses are already wide open to that. I believe a solid wall in this particular case would actually look out of place, given what the other uses already have. The landscaping between here and I-10, what they have there is actually, I'd call it medium density landscaping. It does screen fairly well. But even with that, as you come up, I-10 comes up. So even if we had a screen wall here, you would still be looking down from I-10 into this yard.
All right. Very good, thank you.
Councilmember Hampton?
No, thank you. And this area here behind there, there's not like a double, like a space or anything, right? A
No.
spot. It's just solid, or there's not a space where someone could be hanging out in or living up
No.
against between the freeway and this area.
Not at all. This backs right up to the freeway. There is a
Yeah.
little triangle right here on the site plan, which is where their fence or their sign happens to be located, that monument sign. But that's even open on the freeway side, so there's really
Right.
no opportunity for anybody to hide in there.
Yeah, I think at the Home Depot area on the Avondale side where there's
Yes.
a lot of people hanging out back there. So, and then clarification is it a plumbing supply is the user or is it HVAC
Let's
supply?
have them come up. I want
Or
them
is
to
it
tell
both?
you what their company
I'm
is.
just curious. I'm just curious.
It's heating and cooling, if I'm not mistaken.
HVAC supply or plumbing's?
But let's have them tell you.
It's a mechanical contractor, it's gonna be their corporate offices.
Oh,
and
corporate.
Light industrial in the warehouse, but there is, in actual,
Are you going to turn you face the microphone?
And
Sorry.
he's indicating actually do have an 8-foot wall against
The perimeter of
the
the
back.
back perimeter,
There's an 8-foot wall there now.
yes.
But it's a corporate headquarters and a supply house
Yeah,
for HVAC or for plumbing or for both or?
mechanical plumbing, they're a mechanical plumbing contractor. So they've decided to move from Phoenix and create a corporate office here and
Great.
excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, I think that'd be a great addition. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. See no more requests to speak. You go ahead and open up for the vote. Six zero. Welcome to Goodyear. All right, what do we have here next? Last public hearing is considered an amendment to the zoning ordinance regulations relating to churches. Open the public hearing. Please introduce yourself for the public.
Good evening, Mayor Pizzillo and City Council. Christian Williams, Interim Planning Manager, here before you this evening with a city-initiated zoning ordinance text amendment to address special uses, particularly churches. And this is a brief presentation so that Mrs. Wynette Reed can enjoy the rest of her birthday. Happy birthday. I'm going to be in trouble for that later. Oops. All right. Well, in looking at churches, the use is by right allowed today within the commercial office zoning districts. We need to keep in mind that the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act, or RLUIPA, and the Arizona Free Exercise of Religious Act, FARA, Arizona FARA, and the First Amendment provide a lot of guidance on how these uses are to be treated in an equitable manner. Currently, within the special use permit, we are evaluating traffic and circulation, as well as outdoor and special events and noise. Staff's recommendation would be allowing churches in all zoning districts, not just the CEO Commercial Office District, in conformance with state and federal law, bearing in mind that RLUIPA and state law already provide very strict guidelines and restrict our ability to really regulate these uses. And the city has a duty really to come into conformance with state and federal law. The areas of traffic and noise, staff believes, can be very well managed administratively through the administrative process, such as when we receive a TI, looking at do they conform with parking, and then utilizing our existing special use process for any of those outdoor type events. So staff would recommend that you approve the ordinance that is before you today to amend the zoning ordinance to allow churches in all land use districts. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Kristen. Is the applicant here? That's you?
That's me.
That's you? Okay.
I'm here.
Any in the audience like to speak? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. City Clerk, please read the ordinance number 2024-1600 by title only.
Adopt ordinance number 2024-1600, amending Goodyear zoning ordinance Article 2-2 definitions to revise definition of church, amending Goodyear zoning ordinance Article 3 zoning districts, Article 3-3 commercial districts, by revising the principal permitted uses in paragraph A of section 3-3-1, CO commercial office district, to delete churches, changing the title of Goodyear zoning ordinance Title 4 to regulation of particular uses, amending Goodyear zoning ordinance Article 4, now regulation of particular uses, Article 4-2, uses requiring additional evaluation by adding new section 4-2-19, churches, to allow churches as a primary permitted use in all zoning districts, and directing the city clerk to record a copy of this ordinance.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second to adopt the ordinance 2024-1600? We have a motion and a second on the board. Open it up for discussion. First up, Vice Mayor.
Well, I'm happy to see that we're now meeting state and federal law on this, so that's good news. What is the impact for current churches? Should they want to expand or make any changes, and are they under some old requirements?
That's a great question. So if a church, for example, wanted to expand, they could relinquish their existing special use permit through an administrative process. If they did that, they would just follow the new guidelines that we've established. If their existing facilities do not meet our existing standards, they could opt to keep their special use permit.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Councilmember Campbell?
Oh, Christian, I like the photos that you put, because you have the LDS Church, which is right in the middle of a residential area. King's Church is right across the street from our community park. and of course Compass Church is right by there. They fit in so well anyway. So I'm very happy to think that we're finally conforming to state law and federal law and let the churches decide where they need to go and let them go where they want to go. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilmember Hampton?
Yeah, thank you for bringing this. I think this is all predicated on me bringing up the zoning for, I think it was Compass Church. This solves the Compass Church parking issue, correct? Or the entryway for their area?
If an existing church has a special use permit and they would like to remove that special use permit and their buildings and such meet our existing standards, they could ask us to relinquish that and then they would fall under simple rules, so yes.
Okay. No, thank you for giving us more leeway and the churches to be able to do that. So thank you so much.
Thank you all. I see no more discussion. Go ahead and open vote. Passes 6-0. Thank you. Does the council have any comments, commendations, or reports on current events or requests for future items? Go ahead.
This week, last week, we attended the water roundtable with Congressman Gallego and the Amwell cities, and I want to thank Barbara so much for all of her guidance and information. We've got a great staff on this issue, so very knowledgeable, so thank you.
Who's up?
Can I ask the city manager, or do you want to?
Well, wait to that. Anything you want to, Hampton?
No, it's on.
No, Councilmember Hampton? Did you?
Yeah, so I attended the Daddy-Daughter Dance. That was a great sold-out event, so that was fun. The staff did a good job with that. A lot of happy little girls. And then also the spring training opening day, that was great. I don't know what I'm sure you'll give me attendance numbers for that, but that was a great time. I heard the opening pitch. Whoever did that did a really good job. So no, it was a great time. A lot of happy people starting it's always excitement in the air with spring training. So it was great. The giveaways, the hats were fun, and a lot of happy people from out of state. So it was a good experience. So yeah, I think that's the only two things I had this week so far. Thank you.
Yeah, for those that don't know, it was our Councilmember Hampton that threw out the first pitch.
Yeah.
And he got it across. He did a good job. Now, is there anything that you want of the city? Go ahead.
Yes, I have something to ask of the city manager. I want to ask the city manager to work with our legal team to do whatever we need to do to come up with either an ordinance or a new rule so that when folks or any company that is digging in our city, they don't finish in a timely manner, we can fine them a day for the length of time it takes. And this is all predicated on Liberty Water destroying McDowell Road. They started in May of '23. They were to be done by November, and here it is coming up almost March 1, and they're not done yet, but they think they'll be done by March 1. So we need to have a better handle on when these companies, whether it's for fiber optic, whether it's Cox Cable, whatever it is, when they come in to build on our streets or lay any kind of infrastructure on our streets, and it inconveniences our residents as much as this Liberty Water has done, then we need some teeth that we can come back to the companies and tell them either finish up or you're going to be fined. And I don't want the fine $250 a day. You can go $5,000 or $10,000 a day if you, whatever we can get away with, so that they know we're serious about it and that they'll do their work and then get out of the city. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Agree with Wally.
So do I. All right. How about you there, city manager? What you got for us?
I have an update on opening, spring training opening, and yes, Councilmember Hampton did get across the plate, unlike I did last year with one bounce, but congratulations. Opening day, we drew a crowd of 6,096, which is the second largest opening day for Goodyear Ballpark. The largest opening day was in 2017 at 6,357 fans. This year, we are celebrating 15 years with the ballpark, and I just want to say thank you to the mayor and council. Staff really appreciated the acknowledgement for those employees who've been with us for 15 years since the very beginning, so thank you for that. And but the total for both Saturday and Sunday, our total opening weekend was 9,643 attendees, so a great start to spring training.
That's fantastic. Anything else? Well, with that, the next meeting will be March 4th. No further business. This meeting is over.